ladies and gentlemen.
Greetings, ladies and joins.
We had a terrible week this week. I'm ashamed of you all. Well, actually, I'm only ashamed of two of you. But we'll find out. So this was week 5 of our 7-week round robin. And we're a little over halfway done now. And the leaderboards are starting to really shape up. But let's take a look at the matches. First up, we had Squashed Lizard, Georgia's team, against My Empire Methrats team. A 2-3. This was the highest scoring game of the season so far with 5 points scored. How do you feel about that, George?
Actually, I'm very proud of my team. Even though I lost, it was still great to actually know that I increased in my abilities to play. Plus, I got some pretty good hits on you, including a death.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. The Rats have had a death every game this season.
Well, there's always next year.
Oh, man. Yeah, the Rats, the roster does not stay full. It was a good game. Rats did rat things. You scored 2 touchdowns, which really helps your players out.
Oh yeah, immensely. I think that's going to help me against the Greenham Man clan. But we'll get to that later.
Next up, the Wimshire Warthogs versus the Greenham Man clan 0-0.
0-0? How is this possible?
They didn't play their game. They had all week. Gavin says Jim's fault. Jimmy says Gavin's fault. Probably both of their faults. They're on the other sides of the world, but that hasn't stopped anyone else from playing with Gavin, so shame on you people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was going to be a great game, too. We'll see the leaderboards here in a second, but they're neck and neck, and that was going to be a deciding game, and they're both going to be in a bit of pain because they didn't play it. Next up, we had Blitzstrider versus the Nocturnal Giant Slayers. This was a legitimate 1-1 draw. Lydia really holding it in there here at the very last moment. Robert scored his touchdown to tie that game. Probably one of Lydia's best games this season. Any thoughts on that matchup?
This actually surprises me. It seems that Robert's team doesn't do good against the beginning players, tying them or even being beaten by them, while he matches them or even beats the people that are returning ones. So that's kind of a weird thought going on there.
Yep, this was a game that I had cemented Robert's victory, and I didn't see it. I wasn't really in communique with either of them this week. It was Lydia's birthday week. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But she's 21 now. Woo!
My birthday week just passed too.
Oh, happy birthday, George. Why didn't you tell anyone?
It was the day prior to our match. Was on Sunday. That was when my birthday was.
You should have said something, you bastard.
Well, I didn't want to make a big deal. But I am. Haha.
Aha. And then finally we had the Jurassic Park Ruffians against the Red Cross Disaster Relief. What a clinch game! Oh my gosh!
Wait, that surprises me actually. I didn't have a chance to look at this. I am surprised Nathan lost this one. Matthew lost.
My name's Nathan.
Sorry, Nathan. I'm used to talking to you.
But no, yeah, Matthew was undefeated for the entire season. He was 4-0. Ryan, on the other hand, neck and neck with me the whole time, mostly draws, and then Ryan pulls it out 1-0. I hear he had a lot of injuries, though.
No, I'm surprised he was able to get out of that one then.
Yep, and I imagine Matthew's pretty salty. We had him guest commentate last week, but I bet this week he'd have a few tears for us.
Well, what I would love for the people who actually listen to this, somebody actually come in and do another guest kind of talk. I really liked having him last week. I want to see another person doing it with us next week.
Exactly. Well, let's see what this week did to the leaderboard. First place, still really secure. We have Matthew's Jurassic Park Ruffians, but they're tainted now. They're 4 wins, 1 loss. Regardless, they're definitely making it into the top 4 with 2 more rounds left. They're probably going to make it into first place of the top 4. Which means they'll be going up against 4th place in the first round of the eliminations, which is a huge step up. But way to go, Matthew. Just really, this season is incredible. I know we joke that you're the reigning semi-finalist, but you're really trying your hardest to quash that this season. Absolutely.
I have a strong feeling that this might be Matthew's. We can't keep on saying.
I'm Nathan.
Sorry, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling this is definitely going to be Matthew's year this season. I'm rooting for you. I really want to see those lizard. I got an attachment to lizard men. All right.
Up next, tied for 2nd place, Empire Methrats and Red Cross Disaster Relief. We have literally gone blow for blow every week. Every week we tie a game, or every week we win a game. We're both 2 wins, 3 ties, no losses. It's incredible. Even in the game we played against each other, tie. Just the whole season, we've been neck and neck, and we have been kind of implacable from that. So it's really the first one of us to flinch and get a loss or a tie when the other person gets a win. That'll be the real loser. But I imagine both of us are pretty solid on our way to the top 4 as well. Though, as we see right behind us, like literally right behind us, are the Greenham Man Clan with 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. That's just 1 loss difference. If that loss had been a draw, he would be tied with us as well. And followed that, Wimshire Warthogs, 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, very close. The 4 of us are just absolutely running at the same speed, with 2 wins apiece, the only difference being that loss and draw ratio.
See, that would mean that one of those guys would have been cemented in the second to third tier
Exactly.
if they would have played that game.
That game was absolutely instrumental to seeing this top 4 shape up to what it would really be at the end of the season. And I have a strong feeling, that them not playing that game is going to come back and kick one of them in the ass later on.
All it takes is a couple wins. The Blitz Riders, all they need is 2 more wins, and they could go up there and knock one of them out.
I have a feeling Blitzstrider coming in with 2 wins. I mean, there are 2 games left, but the chances that Blitzstrider wins both of them, and then someone in the top 5 not winning both of theirs, I don't know. Blitzstrider making it into the top 4 is a long shot, but I don't think it's an impossibility.
Anything's possible right now.
No, on that topic, Squashed Lizard in 7th place, Nocturnal Giant Slayers in 8th place. Neither of them are making it.
I have come to the admin of I am not making it to the next to this final 4, but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Well, let's take a look here. I just for perspective here, if 2 of your losses had been wins, you would be in 2nd place right now, or you'd be in 3rd place. Right?
The problem was I had some really hard first and second weekers, as far as who to play against, which really cost me along the ways other ones. Now I'm getting these characters leveled up to the point that they're actually being able to do things and probably get more of a challenge on these higher level players, where beforehand it was like, oh, please, for the love of God, please make this, kind of thing.
And Lydia, speaking of streaks being broken, she's broken her all-loss streak by getting a draw last game, so she's now 0-1-4,
Go Lydia.
which is definitely an improvement. But we've got some great teams this season. There are 6 teams on here that could potentially make it to the top 4. And it's going to be painful for 2 of these teams everyone has worked so hard, with the exception of you and Lydia. Everyone has worked so hard to make it into the top 4.
That hurt, alright?
Hey, I call it like I see it on the leaderboard. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, well, the leaderboard can't say that much.
But you've improved. That's important. But looking at these top 6 players, top 5 especially, they've all tried so hard. We've all tried so hard to make it into the top 4. And 2 or 3 of us aren't going to make it, and it's going to suck. And it's going to be it's real toss-up right now. Blitzstrider has a long way to climb. They're still in the running, possible, but one of these top 5 teams is just not gonna cut it. And I have a feeling it's going to come down to the difference between 1 draw, or the difference between team value, or something awful and obvious is going to be the difference here between who makes it into slot 4 and who makes it into slot 5 for the top 4.
Now, all that needs to happen in order for Blitz Riders to make it into the top 4 is for him to get both of these wins in the next 2 weeks, and for the Red Cross Disaster Release and the Greenham Man Clan not to either to draw or to lose these 2 matches.
He needs some pretty incredible things to happen, but it's still possible. And it's heavily reliant on how the top 5 players do. They all need to botch their games, draw, maybe not show up, and he needs 2 solid wins. But yeah, like I said, the top four, lots of competition. Not like we saw last season. Last season was kind of just a shoe in. But I mean, I'm just going to remind everyone: top four is where you start earning the money. Top four is where the prize pool starts playing into effect. So if you can make it into the top four, congratulations, you've got some cash. But if you can and you have a shot at that trophy, you have a shot at winning the grand prize. Just good luck to everyone. Let's take a look at the schedule again. Day 6. Because these last 2 days they're gonna be pretty key. But looking at day 6, we've got the Greenham Man Clan versus Squash Lizard. George, that's you. How do you feel?
Um, I can't say I'm really confident about this, but with the amount of time I've spent playing this game and the amount of things I've done, I think I could tie this at least. I'm hoping I could win this one. I really want to play this, so Jim, if you're watching, do not mess this up. We're gonna get a hold of each other. We're gonna get a good time, and we're gonna play. Because I want to play.
Now, how do you feel knowing that if you can beat Jim here, you might cement him out of the top four?
I don't feel confident in doing that.
I know you don't feel confident, but morality speaking, you have no shot at the top four.
Let me rephrase that. I don't feel confident on beating him. I don't feel confident. I don't feel good about me knocking him out of the top four because this is his very first Blood Bowl. I actually am rooting for the underdog here. I want him to make it to the top four. So it's like, yes, you see this guy that just came into this and first time playing Blood Bowl. Here he is.
Yep.
That's what I want to hit. I'm not very confident in wanting to beat him. I want to beat him because I want to win. I want that win, but at the same time, I want him on that top four.
Yep. And like I said, you have no chance of making it to the top four. So if you beat him here, you're literally just crushing his dreams. That's all you're doing for no profit.
Play well, Jim. Play well. I will be the dream crusher.
But really, like you said, he's the rookie of the season. He's the only new player in the season, and you were in that position last season. And to see him go so far, to see him potentially beat out 4 other competitors to make it into the top 4 prize pool, that's incredible. I mean, you've got to feel some pride for that.
I actually do. I'm very proud, and I really want to see him make this.
Tainted a bit because you didn't play your last game, Jim.
You could have cemented it already. You could have been like, hey, I'm going to be the top 4, but no. Couldn't set up one with Gavin.
I don't want to comment too much on this since you are involved in that match, but I think key players here on your team are going to be your Skinks. Your Saurus are going to have a hard time punching against his Orcs, and likewise, Jim, your Orcs are not going to have the easiest time punching those Saurus. You're used to mowing people down with those Orcs. They're going to be bashing skulls in the middle of the field. It's really going to come down to, can he catch your Skinks? Jim, you got to focus on the Skinks. George, keep your Skinks away from his Orcs. That's how that's what it's going to come down to.
I've gotten some good run-ins with another team that I'm running with Lizardmen, and I'm practicing the Lizardmen. So I've kind of messed those runnings in. Expect the challenge to be there, Jim. If you're watching and listening, I promise you that this will not be an easy win. It might not be a loss, but at the same time, I'm going to make you work for it. I did it with most of my draws. They were not easy wins. They were challenges.
Up next, the Nocturnal Giant Slayers, the 8th place team against the Empire Methrats, my team. Another team competing for the top 4, neck and neck with 4 other teams even. If Lydia can beat me here, she hasn't got a win yet, but if she can beat me here, likewise, she might just knock me out of the running for the top 4, which would be very sad.
I don't expect a win here, but Lydia, I want to tie. You have to tie.
A draw here would also hurt me. A draw here would honestly also hurt me. I mean, every point that I don't gain is a point that keeps me out of that top 4. So I really need to focus here. Lydia's team is deceptively tough. They're not. I can't punch them. They're too strong to punch. The Goatmen, the Bestigors, they've got Blitz. Or horns, which makes their blitzing a little better. I've just gone through and leveled up some of my gutter runners, including my star player Lydia Gray, level 3. So let's see how Lydia likes a taste of Lydia Gray's medicine. But it's going to be a tough match. Next, we have the Red Cross Disaster Relief against the Wimshire Warthogs. Whoa. These are 2 teams that are both competing for the top 4 very heavily, and And this is going to be kind of an inferno of a match. I mean, the Wimshire Warthogs are a brand new team this season, but we have seen amazing things coming from the humans, things that my human team from last season couldn't even dream of. And the Red Cross Disaster Relief, the grand champion of last season, has seen quite a few setbacks this season with all of their draws, are drawing to some teams that just. I think he drew against your team, didn't he, George?
He did. He did.
Yep.
I've gotten lucky. And the only one of the returning teams that I did not beat was the Jurassic Park Ruffians. Other than that, I've tied every other. And yours is a brand new team, so I guess it doesn't count.
But yeah, he's drawn some games, and his champion team from last season just, I don't know what it is, but they're not quite the champions team this season anymore. So it's going to be really exciting to see him playing against Gavin's human team that we've seen so many great plays from.
Here's the thing, though: do not underestimate these humans. That's something I did because of Nathan's previous teams, and it was a big mistake. They do some incredible things. You would never. I was sitting here going like, I've got him cornered. There's no way that he's going to get out. And he dodges. He dodges all of them. And it's like, you've got to be kidding him. I surrounded by 3 guys. He has little or no chance of getting out of it. And he's able to get out. So do not underestimate him at all. It will come back to bite you. So if you want this win, play like it's Orcs, or play like it's one of the hardest teams you'll ever play against. Because they are. Gavin's team is challenging. I don't know what it is he's feeding these things. There's got to be steroids in this game that he's hacking into. I don't know, but these are incredible plays he's making.
Now, Ryan did just hire his Minotaur, so he's going to have his Minotaur facing off against that Ogre in the middle of the field, and he's going to have his more experienced Chaos Warriors, his more experienced Beastmen up against those weaker human opponents. I think there's going to be some incredible passing going on in this game on the part of the humans, and of course we're going to see some stereotypical, really solid cage work from Ryan. That's his classic cage that he's just really solid at. We're going to see a lot of that action. Let's see if the humans can break it. Our last match of the season, the Jurassic Park Ruffians versus Blitzstrider. Blitzstrider, again, is that team that we were talking about in the leaderboards. They have to at least win both their games, plus get some luck with some of the other teams maybe getting some draws in their matches in order to even think about that top 4. And the Jurassic Park Ruffians are cemented first place. This is definitely not the position Robert wants to be in. Like I said, he nees 2 wins, at least, plus some bad luck from other teams.
I think
he does not want to face Matthew.
This is going to be a hard time for Robert's team right now, because to be honest with you, Matthew's team doesn't look like to be slowing down unless he wants Robert to get into there and actually win this. It's going to be hard on him. I think
now,
you're going to have to. I'm going to have to give this to Matthew. I think he's going to win this one.
So would you be willing to put money on that?
I would.
Because I have some news that's about to blow your mind.
All right, let's hear it.
Matthew is going to be down 3 skinks and a source for this match.
Is it high sources and high skinks?
He's got one of his skinks dead, 2 of his skinks, level 2 skinks, out with injuries, and 1 of his level 2 Saurus out with injuries.
Oh man, well, it is.
He hasn't spent his winnings yet, but it looks like he's coming into this match with 2 skinks and 6 Sauruses. Or, pardon me, 2 skinks, 5 Sauruses, and his Croxagore. I mean, he's going to get some. He's going to get some mercenaries, and he has $9,000 to spend. But that's going to be rough, missing out on those leveled up skinks. He still has 2 level 3 skinks waiting in the wings, but I mean, from the plays we've seen from Matthew recently, he likes to cage with those skinks. He likes all 5 of those skinks to run as a pack. That way, if one of them drops the ball, the other can pick it up. And 5 skinks punching 1 target can get through. But with 2 skinks, that is not a pack of skinks. That's a pair of skinks, and a pair of skinks are just targets.
That's going to be rough on him. That's going to be rough. I'm still going to have to give this to Matthew. He's being able to pull off some really interesting things with especially low levels. Low-level lizardmen are nothing to sneeze at. I mean, again, this goes back to my match against him as well. All mine were extremely low. They were starting level when I was facing off, and I was still able to tie him. So even with his low levels, even if he has 1 or 2 levels that are higher, level 2 or level 3, I think he could pull this one off. But he has to be cautious on it.
Speaking of hobbling, I've just taken a look at Robert's team, and oh boy, Robert's got 2 dead players, including one of his blitzers, his level 3 blitzers, and he's also down his catcher and his lineman for this match. So he is also down 4 of his key players.
So it's almost evened out right there.
It has, so we're going to see 2 teams who are severely handicapped and crippled on that field. They're just going to be sort of wheelchairing around each other this next match.
This is going to be interesting. This is a match. Expect me to give you some highlights on that match because I think I'm going to go watch that as soon as it gets played.
Well, good luck to you, Robert. You're going to need it. You need some incredible games and some incredible luck from other games to even qualify for the top 4. Don't need to wish you good luck, Matthew, because you're definitely in on that top 4. But good luck to Gavin and Ryan as they duke it out trying to figure out who's cementing that top 4 spot. Good luck to Jimmy. Good luck to Jimmy as he tries to crush you to try and get himself into that top 4 spot, and good luck to myself.
Wait. To hell with you then. If you're gonna go with Jimmy, I don't know if I want to.
Hey, I'm rooting for the people who still have a chance.
Oh God, man.
We're going to see some great games this week. I hope everyone plays their games. And thank you for watching, everyone. Let's have some fun. Keep your eye on the prize. Remember that top 4 prize pool. Remember that just getting into the top 4 gives you a few dollars. Remember that getting into that final match gives you a few dollars more. And just keep thinking about the Blood Bowl. Just keep thinking about that beautiful, solid gold trophy we ordered and your name on it.
And also the most important thing, I know this is going to be off, but have fun. Do not force anything. Just enjoy it.
Try not to jerk each other off while you're doing it. Yeah. Anyway, have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me, George.
Thank you very much, Nathan.